Welcome to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, and within our studio this evening we have Mr. Cedric McDowell. He's a celebrity manager who grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and he began DJing with Bass Funk Express, which received national attention. He has worked with Juvenile, oh my God, great rapper, Juvenile, from Cash Money Records. He has helped in the community for 20 years alongside Terry Elliott Sr. and the Arc of the City of Miami. Is the Arc of the City?
Yes.
He has received multiple awards from the city of Atlanta, I think that's Georgia, and New York. Cedric is currently working with several musical artists and is expanding his business in the music industry. Wow, great to have you on Pathway to Success, Cedric. Um, tell us about yourself, how you got started in music.
I had a very, very good spirit of music.
Yeah.
My grandfather, he was a musician, and he just did a lot that inspired me, that wanted me to just do music in itself. And I just got around and worked around, and I want to see these DJs. I said to myself, one day I want to be like them. But turning around, things flipped on me that I ended up being in this group. And when I got in the group, I got real popular real quick.
Yeah.
And
What was the name of this group?
Bass Funk Express.
It's Function Express, right?
I got real popular, and then I ran into Juvenile. I ran into whole Cash Money, and when I ran into them, they were so inspired by me, but I was inspired by them, and so we never became separated from that part. So I began to travel the world, meet a whole bunch of people, and just enjoy life.
Wow, that's powerful. And from that meeting with Cash Money Records, you ventured off in becoming a celebrity manager.
Right.
What are some of the artists you have managed?
I worked side of everybody that come from Cash Money. I worked side of them. I assisted a lot of people in the music industry, just being with my relationships. You know, I'm just such a Bible person when it comes to that. I believe in Proverbs 18:16. It said that your gift will make room for you, and it will place you in the room with important people. And I was placed in the room with a lot of important people because God had gave me a gift.
Oh, that's powerful. That's powerful. But what really, I know that you grew up with this musical background, but did you ever rap? Have you ever done any rapping? Because I'm sure you must have.
I
I'm
I,
sure you
I,
must
I,
have.
I did a little rapping. I did a little rapping back then, but my main goal and object was just being in the business,
Right.
learning the business. When I seen my grandmother, they was singing all these gospel songs back then, how she used to make us go to church, and when she left the house, everybody had to leave the house, and nobody stayed at the house.
Yeah.
They were real strict people, so I had to go about that. Especially my grandfather, with him being from Jamaica, was real stern,
Really?
real stern, and a lot of things he didn't play. So that was one thing we had to go do. We had to go serve God
Yeah.
in that household.
So that's where your musical interest began from in church, really.
Right,
And then you develop a passion and a love for the music,
right.
and then you ventured out into that field where you make what was it like being around Cash Money, um, the artists from Cash Money Records?
It was like a dream. It was like a dream that became reality, and that reality just showed me how good God can be, and show how He'll just place you in the room with these people, and they get to learn and love you. You got one thing that's very important to you, and that's your name. Your name is very, very important. I tell them that, and I tell everybody that. Jesus asked the question, "Who do men say I am?" name. There's no other name that man shall be named. So your name is very important. Anything that you do, uh, your relationships are based on your character and your name.
Oh, that's powerful. Who was your role model? I remember you mentioned your grandfather. Was he your role model while growing up?
Yeah, he was my role model. He was my everything. You know, I loved in him and trusted in him, and I trusted, just things he did and he said, and I never understood what my grandma was doing until I got grown. I used to think they was the meanest people in the world until I got grown. You never know how people might feel when you ain't got no kids, but when you get your own kids, you'll see how they felt.
Yeah.
And I seen the difference.
Yeah.
I seen the difference in that when I grew up.
So that strong Christian background molded you with that musical background in church, of course,
Of
molding
course.
you into the person that you are today, the person of success, the person that um, um, has great respect in today's community. This respect you can impart back to the members of the company. How do you build? How do you build and market yourself to become a manager and working with these celebrities?
Well, first of all, you have to have patience. Patience is a virtue. Everybody who you deal with ain't gonna have patience. You might deal with some people that may not see what you see. Sometimes you can be the person can see more than a person can see in themselves. So it's for you to try to help them, elevate them, and motivate them to become people who they truly blessed to be.
Oh, that's powerful. That's powerful. And when you first started business, what were some of the challenges you faced? Because in every successful person, challenges.
Right.
Yes. How did you cope with it? What are some of the challenges you faced, and how did you overcome those challenges?
I mean, you got to learn how to take certain things. You got to know how to not let your emotions override your intellect. You got to be very intelligent in situations. Sometimes it could be barren where you have to say something, but sometimes it's good to just listen, pay attention. Criticism. A lot of people can't take criticism. At one time, I couldn't take criticism, and the person that was criticizing me, I was like, "This is my best friend. Why are you doing me like this?" But I thought about, the whole overall situation and what he was saying. But I would say to myself, the Bible said, "Don't go to bed with wrath on your heart." And I had to learn that. I had to learn to stir away from certain things, certain people, certain individuals. When you're traveling, and I didn't travel the world, when you travel, sometimes you might run into an executive promoter. Somebody might book you to come to a certain state, and when you get there, they only have the rest of the money.
So you'd be, um, you've experienced that where someone has booked you and your artist, and when you get there, they don't have the rest of the money.
Yeah, it's time to go.
So how do you handle that?
Well, first you got to have patience again. So if you don't have patience, you got to understand sometimes people be just trying stuff. And when they try stuff, sometimes you got to fall to understand life. A lot of people can't understand that. And what I had to learn to understand was I'm not exempt from going through nothing nobody else can be going through. Because in order to reign with Christ, you got to suffer too. So I had to suffer a little bit to understand what I was dealing with and what I was going through. And I dealt with some challenges where some couple of friends I had, we fell out over misunderstanding. This Sunday was so simple, but sometimes a simple argument become into a big argument and become a big disagreement. So I just learned to, deal with that, cope with that, and I just learned to have patience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you sound like not only a celebrity manager but a celebrity preacher. What is
It's
I
I
guess it's
can't.
because of that skill to motivate you have that skill to motivate people to the next level in your position as a manager. That's very key, right?
Right, and everybody that knows me, they know that When it comes to music, they know how spiritual I am. I tell them from the jump, don't get it twisted. David was a wicked man, but he was an anointed man. So you can't look at a book and judge that book based on what you see. You got to see for yourself and understand for yourself. It's just like the situation with Paul and Agrippa. Paul told Agrippa, said one time, you will have plucked your eye from me. But since I tell you the truth, you become my enemy. So that's how life bees. A lot of people leave the church because of truth. Truth brings about enemies. And so long as you live in your truth and you can understand that it's not all about you, it is all about, it's not how you treat me, it's how I treat you. And that's life.
That's powerful. How do you keep your clients but I was just going to ask you a question. How do you keep your clients on top of the game in the music industry? But you're such a great motivator. You're so inspirational that the words of inspiration that you speak will really elevate any artist that has any doubt in themselves.
Yeah, because sometimes people face challenges. We all face challenges. We all go through a depression state. Because you have everything don't mean that you ain't going through nothing. I might can be smiling on the outside and hurting in the inside. And you won't know because I'm not showing that. So if I'm not giving that, you can't really understand that. Then a lot of people can't understand because you never know what they had to go through in their childhood. A lot of people can't escape that in their adulthood because they're still trapped. And why the church is not filled is because the people are holding on to stuff that just holding them down. If they let it go, the church will be filled.
Yeah.
So that's life. And that's one thing we have to do is, we have to come into a reality check to understand that life is very precious, it's very short, and we just got to do what we have to do. I have challenges where me and my friend Andre Nelson from Fresh International Music Group, he's a guy that started Bass Funk Express. He was a guy that I looked up to. He's considered my best friend, and we go through stuff because of our opinions. My opinion ain't right, and your opinion might not be right. We're not always right, but sometimes we just got to touch and agree. Amos 3:3. How can two walk together unless they agree? They got to agree on something.
Right.
So that's what I do.
Now, Cedric, I'd love to ask you, how many celebrity clients have you managed so far in your long your career as a manager?
I mean, a few.
And who are the best? Some of the best that you've managed. Well, you got to be very careful now. But
I really don't want to answer that.
No, I don't think you'd want to answer that. I just
no, I don't want to answer that. But I worked with Teddy Riley. I worked with Blackstreet. I worked with Cut Close, Michael Sterling, who I currently work with right now. Is a legendary guy. He made Lovers and Friends. He was the guy behind Inner Circle. Had the song Bad Boys, Bad Boys. He's a very talented producer, and we work together. And he's a very great inspiration.
That's great. So do you travel on tour? I'm sure as a manager, you have traveled on tour.
I did the Legends of the Streets tour. I did
Legends of the Streets.
Legends of the Streets tour. They got a show February the 12th at BBT Center with Rick Ross, Young Jeezy, 2 Chainz, Gucci Man, Trina, Fabulous, and a few more.
And you'll be literally on that show?
I will literally be there. I will be there.
That's good. That's good. And where will the show be?
It'll be in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh wow. That's very now we're going to take a 5 minutes break, and then we're going to come back to Pathway to Success with Mr. Cedric. What says Cedric the Celebrity Preacher.
There's a new sports bar and grill in town, Tasty's Soul Food Sports Bar and Grill. Join T-Dog and all his celebrity friends for the grand opening on Saturday, May 1st, beginning at 2 p.m. It's a grown and sexy vibe with 80s and 90s R&B music, served with Tasty's great tasting menu, offering Tasty's burgers and fries, Tasty's shrimp, salmon, oxtails, mac and cheese, collard greens, smothered pork chops, potato salad, lemon pound cake, and so much more. And T-Dog is bringing out all his celebrity friends. And the only way you're gonna know who's there is by coming by T-Dog's all-new Tasty Soul Food Sports Bar and Grill. Join us for the grand opening on Saturday, May 1st at 2 p.m. 3770 Northeast 3rd Avenue, Pompano Beach. It's a grown and sexy vibe with 80s and 90s R&B music. Call and place your order now at 954-953-8856. A Tasty's experience is what you deserve. Tasty's Soul Food Sports Bar and Grill. Home of the lemon pepper and sweet and tangy fried ribs. Due to COVID restrictions, mask must be worn upon entering the building.
Are you looking to advertise your business? Look no further. Pathways to Success is offering 3 30-second slots each Sunday of the month for $100. Please contact 561-331-1524 for all inquiries.
Welcome back to Pathway to Success. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Hunter, with Cedric. He's a celebrity manager. His background, he came out of the church, and I'm so impressed with his godlike background that I was saying maybe in his next interview he should put celebrity manager / celebrity preacher. Who knows? You may just do a celebrity preachers of Florida.
That sounds nice.
That sounds. You're a manager now, guys. So you're a very creative person. So I'm sure you can think about it and execute that out with clearly.
Right.
But tell me something. Where do you how do you rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 as a manager in the industry?
I rate myself as a 10 because I go all the way in. I believe sometimes more than a person that believe in themselves, but I had to learn throughout the years that I can't believe more than a person if they don't believe in themselves. You know, sometimes you go head first, and I used to get into trouble, at home about just going out, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and the people wouldn't appreciate the stuff that I was doing and how I was trying to place them in situations. So I had to learn that sometimes you can't work harder than a person if they're not willing to go out and do the same kind of work.
Explain to the viewers that's watching, what are some of the rules of a manager, and what does a manager for an artist do, and what does you do? What does you do for your artists?
So the thing is, end of the day, you're not in it for fun. You're in it to make money. It's entertainment. So a lot of people pay for entertainment. A lot of people pay just to see people. And you never know, sometimes people could be in love with you and never see you. You know what I mean? So when they see you, they're so impressed and they want to do this, they want to do that. And, you run across a whole bunch of stuff in the business, especially dealing with, women. I done see some crazy stuff throughout the years, how women come up and approach certain situations.
Right.
So,
especially in the rap game, huh?
Oh, yeah. So, you got to be very careful with that, because temptation is always out there. That's one thing ain't gonna leave you before you leave this earth is temptation. That's never gonna leave you.
What are some of the as a manager in the rap industry? What are some of the advice you'd give the females, upcoming female artists? Some of the things that they need to be aware of, the pitfalls.
Well, I could say this. This is a very, very tough business, especially dealing with females. So by you being a female, it's very tough.
But does female get a equal break as the men? Um, or or it's I know it's the rap game is more male dominated, right? But what does a female have have to make it big in the rap game?
Sex appeal, sex sells. So if you have a sex appeal, you have a look about yourself.
You,
You
you
can
know,
sell
I
it.
never thought that. Sex appeal.
Yeah.
Because I mean, does sex appeal sell albums or the music to the songs?
It's sell it because guess what? People all have fantasies.
Mhm.
So when they see fantasies and they see a certain kind of person or individual, they just like that person. And so it's just like David when he seen him, he went crazy. He said, "Go get him." So that's just like anything that's in the business. Like you might see certain things that might sidetrack you, that easily beset you. So you have to be very careful and mindful because everything that look good ain't always good. So everything that you run across that smile on your face always have your back.
But Chris, what does it take? Because now that we're looking at female artists, because the hip hop game is a male dominated. We see Nicki Minaj, who has done great. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion.
Hmm.
Who's the others? Those are the three top female rappers right now, right?
No, you have a few of them out there.
There are a few of them out there.
Yes,
What are
yes,
some
there
others
are.
that you could share with us,
Uh,
or we should look forward to?
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
She's a very big artist. She's just as big as Nicki Minaj and Cardi B and Megan.
Where is she from?
I don't know exactly where this young lady's from, but she's very big. It's like this in the music industry. Once they give you that golden one, you the one. Point blank. Period.
Have you ever managed female?
I was dealing with a female. It was a very difficult situation. Very difficult. With all sometimes dealing with a female because they have swing moves. 1 minute you want to do this, and next minute you don't want to do that, and they ask you to dress a certain way or do a certain thing you don't want to do. So they're not going to sit back and put no money in you because you're not cooperating.
Right.
Just like when you go out and audition for a movie, they might tell you, say you have to lose 100 pounds or 200 pounds for this movie.
Well, you said something about they're not cooperating, right?
Right.
I'm from Jamaica where they have the dance hall. It depends on what are the things, some of the things that some things the women I've heard other female artists that they're not willing to cooperate on.
Well, you might not ever hear them.
Huh?
You might not ever hear them.
Say for instance, the cooperate to sleep with a manager to rise to rise in the music industry. That
A lot of them have done that. Part of the business.
So wow. So this is getting more and more interesting. So what you're saying to me, it's and we're not male chauvinists right here, but
Right.
within the industry, it's way more difficult for the woman if she doesn't dress. If she's not sexual, then she could not make it. She could not get that break, and if she's not willing to also sleep with someone.
It's a very difficult situation. In the day, it's all about who you know. It's about who have a relationship with a certain person. Because you might have some people don't want to sign a certain person because they are overweight, but they have talent, they're overweight, but they look at it when he goes into the marketing department, how can I market this person? How can I take this person to the next level if this person ain't looking this kind of way? You gotta I tell people this all the time,
But you as a manager now,
right?
you as a manager, no matter if a person is overweight and they have they have great writing skills, their
Mhm.
delivery is great. Can you as a manager take that person and transform them into a platinum recording artist?
I can transform them into a writer,
Mhm.
not a artist. Because if it don't fit their standards, then I can't go that route. It's only it's like certain doors you can go in and certain doors you can't go in, but you have to go in the correct way and the right way. So if they telling you you have to lose weight, you have to do this, you have to do that, and sex appeal, you have to put on the G screen, you might have to do this, you might have to show everything. Some females don't want to do that.
All right. Well, I mean, you've been in the industry for how many years have you been a manager in the industry for?
20 some odd years.
20 something years. And what can you say to someone who wants to enter the music industry? What kind of wisdom you can impart to them as a experienced manager?
Be very careful. Be mindful of what you sign. Make sure that you own your name, because the record label could own your name. They could take, oh my God.
And that's about male and female, right?
That's male and female.
Okay.
Make sure you have some kind of control over your publishing, because at the end of the day, the publishing is a very strong entity in the music business. If you understand, they are buying up publishing right now. They just sold 300 Entertainment. Kevin Lyles just sold it for $850 million. So you got to be very careful and understand that publishing got a lot of things done to a lot of people in the industry. For instance, don't want to get beside myself, but Michael Jackson, Prince, I mean, people that had some kind of control that people wanted it.
What are some of the other business ventures you have? Do you have any upcoming events, shows?
Ventures are my friend Terry Elliott Sr. He does the Arc of the City in Miami.
Tell us about that.
What we do is instead of in LA they got the Walk of Fame, he has the Wall of Fame on 15th Avenue. So we give back about $300,000-$400,000 every year, bikes, toys, feed the whole community and put on a community free event.
You said $400,000.
$400,000.
Oh, that's great.
To give back to the community.
That's great. Congratulations.
So that guy, him and his wife, Sharita Elliott, they give back to the community, and that's very important to the community to let somebody know that somebody do care and love them. Because you have a lot of people that have millions of dollars that came from that same community that won't give back to that community.
You were honored in Atlanta, Georgia, and New York. Tell us a little bit about it. What kind of honor it was?
I was honored by the great Debbie Ireland. She gave me an award in Atlanta at Backstage. God rest his soul, Mr. Joe Douglas. He used to manage Franklin Beverly and Mays. They gave me a proclamation. It was very, very touching, and it was an honor for them to even think about me in that kind of way. And it was a big, major event, and everybody came out. And I appreciated everybody, all my celebrity friends, from Tabitha from Cut Close, Tony Terry, Dave from Men at Large. It was everybody there. Lavelle, a couple more people.
What are some of the things, the changes that you'd like to see in the industry as a manager?
I would like to see more of positive stuff, more positive energy, because if you always hear shoot 'em up, bang, bang, you never know what seed that you're planting in somebody's head, and they might think that's cool. So I learned a long time ago, I was straightened by a man. He straightened me. When I say he straightened me, he straightened me. And I said, dog. And he said, don't ever call me a dog. I'm not a four-legged animal. And he put me in my place. And I thought about it. I kind of got angry, but I thought about it.
Yes.
And he said, only thing I'm doing is helping you, brother. And I had to respect that. I have a situation going on where my brother Lavelle, he just signed with Universal Records.
Oh, congratulations.
He got a single out with Anthony Hamilton called "When I Fell in Love." My brother T-Rex got a gospel song, gonna be one of the #1 songs on the chart called "The Storm Is My Ministry." Working with Hollywood Slime, Purple Dro. Hollywood Slime is a very talented young kid out of Fort Lauderdale. Purple Dro, he's from down here. And Tippy LaDon and Deuce Uno and Swag Entertainment. My cousin from CSMI, DJ Ty. And I have a lot of more other stuff I got going on now. I'm just sitting back and waiting and relaxing. And just waiting on.
Which rapper is your favorite rapper?
Juvenile. I say he's the favorite rapper.
Any favorite female rapper?
I would have to go with Tippy LaDon. Tippy LaDon.
I want to shout out to Tippy LaDon on that one. You hear the master. And Juvenile.
Tippy.
Have you ever, as a manager, have you ever thought about, because apparently you have some Jamaican somewhere in your lineage, have you ever thought about working with reggae artists?
I thought about it many times,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes we know, and my mom, you know how the Jamaican people could be.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it real. My mama's from Trelawney.
Really?
And you know how they could be. So it'd be difficult at times. Very talented.
Very challenging. Mom is watching right now?
Nah, mom passed a couple of years ago.
Oh, my condolences.
But she was stern.
That's why you come inside. That's you just quoting scriptures. I mean, mom instilled some real powerful, positive things in you.
Oh yeah. Because one thing I learned in life, without God, you ain't nothing. And until you realize that there's somebody bigger than you, you're gonna be lost.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be found than to be lost. I'd rather let God use me. And shout out to my brother Frank Canez Jr. Frank, I would say to him, I love you. Frank Jr. show, Shirley Caesar, Constant Shirley Caesar. Say, call my boy, I need a word. And every time I get an opportunity to speak a word in somebody's spirit, I'm going to speak it. If God give it to me, I'm going to give it to you. If God don't give me nothing for you, I can't give you nothing.
That's powerful. For aspiring artists, because you're a manager of great wisdom and you've worked with some of the best in the business, how can they contact you for management services?
They can contact me on Facebook as Cedric McDowell. They can find me on Instagram as DJ Baby Said.
DJ what? Baby what?
Baby Said.
Baby Said.
Baby Said.
Okay, Baby Said.
That's the name my grandma gave me, and one of my friends heard that, and he carried it on to the streets. And that's been the name ever since.
So you say they can contact you on Facebook and on Instagram?
Oh yeah,
Instagram. And where's your management service located, really?
In Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Wow. Well, you have heard it from one of the best in the music industry. I'm sure you've been inspired today. I've learned a lot. Wow. Thank God that none of my daughters is going to try out to be a rapper, because you have daughters? You have a daughter?
Yes, I do.
Wow. What would you say if your daughter says she would love to be well, you could manage her, so you should be safe, right?
I'm not going to be around all the time.
Because
thing I could do is install something in you. I can't be around you all the time. You know, the Bible says, train up a child in the way that child should go. But you'll never know what that child might do at your presence. Because you could never say what your child ain't going to do or will do.
Yeah.
I learned that. You know what I mean? So when a kid out of your presence, you know what that kid might be capable of doing.
Yeah.
But as long as you there, the kid know better. You know, our grandma put that look on you, and you know how to tighten up real quick then. So same way with mama and daddy. Daddy come in and look crazy, y'all. You know what time it is.
Well, you have heard it from one of the best in the business, a manager of wisdom, a manager of experience, one who have seen so many things. I mean, he will not divulge on camera in the studio, but you said something. You prefer to be found than to be lost.
Yeah.
Now, I would love to end this broadcast saying that it's best to be found than to be lost. Have a great week this week. Have a great week for you and yours this week. Great having you again.
Appreciate you.
Okay, thank you.